Tell me, what is this? Do you see some of these? These are the terminologies in US we use, and you will find this in literature. So anybody who was born between 1901 and 1924 is called GI generations. Then the people who were born between 1925 and 1945 are called silent generation.
What's mean GI?
Huh?
What's mean GI?
Generation.
No, GI generation. What
Yes.
GI is called?
I'll get back to the full form, but GI is the key word which was used for those people who were born in that time. But I'll come back to what GI explains. Then in 1946 to 1964, it was called baby boomers. So most of the people so far in academia in US who we meet and talk, they belong to what we call baby boomers. So many times in literature, in magazine, they say baby boomers are going to retire, right? So you may come across this terminology. Or this is a baby boomers generation for education. So baby boomers are the ones who were born between 1946 to 1964. Then 1965 to 1979 is called Generation X. So again in literature, we nowadays a lot of literature mention that the learning styles of Generation X are very different. So again, we need to know what is Generation X. Generation Y, which is after 1980 to 2000, they are saying their learning styles are very, very different. And today we will reflect some of that later. I will send you all these slides, so I will shoot you in that group format so that you will have the slides. So you don't worry about taking notes. If you want to make your own small notes, it's fine, but I'll send you all the slides. So I just wanted to familiarize some of these terminologies which sometimes we use unknowingly, that we may be referring this, so I wanted you to familiarize with this. Let's talk a little bit about, because you saw my talk, the title of my talk, chalkboard to chatboard, right? So I love to play with the chalkboard. I mean, we in US now, because of the health reason, they have stopped the chalkboards. So they say it creates more hazards to the health. So they have stopped the chalkboards. They have the whiteboards that we used yesterday. So now we are talking about that learning is going that other direction. It is going basically through the chat board. And I'll talk about it, what it means. So in my class, I pose a question and send it to the student. And I ask them that next 1 hour you need to respond to this question. So they respond, and this is shared platform, so everybody gets the response. They post their responses, they hear or they listen other responses, and there is some kind of dynamics coming out of those discussions where there may be some commonality and where they may not have any commonality. So that gives me a chance to discuss the different views, different thinking into the. I take that to the discussion. Just now, let's experiment this. So, after this slide, we'll experiment this. So, chalkboards is a traditional face-to-face learning mode, and as I said, most of it's going away. Because most of the classes are hybrid classes. So you have a chalkboard and you also have a chatboard part of it. You know, there are 3 generations of web. Web 1.0, Web 2.0, Web 3.0. And there are also, because of the web, there are 3 generations of learning. E-learning 1.0, e-learning 2.0, e-learning 3.0. So let's talk again the terminology. What is Web 1.0? When the first time internet was brought into the classrooms, you posted your material. That's all. So it was called Web 1.0. It was more static information. So the websites were created, they posted information, but there was no feedback, there was no two-way communication, it was only one-way communication. So that one-way communication is called read-only stage. Web 2.0, when internet became more popular, then at that stage you got Web 2.0, which basically means you can read, write, you can give a feedback, share, blogs, wiki, podcast, everything came into. And nowadays that's the stage most of the people are using Web 2.0. They haven't graduated yet to Web 3.0, and that's where we are using social networking, Facebook, or any other social networking tool to interact with ourselves, among ourselves, and with the students. So learner to teacher, teacher to teacher, all interactions may be taking place using Web 2.0. And now we are gradually going to the next stage called Web 3.0, and I'll talk about it. It's a very interesting stage. I have started using a little bit of that. It's called 3D visualization. So you can see now that interactions are much, much more in a 3D environment. So in my class, what I do, suppose I wanted you to experience or to go to Taj Mahal in Agra, right? One is physically you go there. Second is I have bought a Google glasses or Google card box. And Google card box costs $5, and anybody can buy from Amazon. So what it does is Google card box is a small like a 3D glasses. And then on my phone, I have a lot of apps, free apps. You can also buy, but there are a lot of free apps. So let's say there is an app of Taj Mahal. So now you put that phone, in front of that you put the Google glasses or Google card box, and now you can take a tour. Actually, the tour, the way you want to take a tour there physically. Yes. So you have the 3D environment, and you are going as if, and you, for a moment, you will forget that you are here. You will see that you are in Taj Mahal because you are going in the same direction. Okay, let me see here. Okay, let me go. So you need a little more free space for your moment. You will experience the same experience. This is one example. I also wanted my students to get a factory tour, particularly when they do courses at a senior level, how the factory, the environment is working, how the cars are made. So again, they experience it exactly, they see the real people. They see the real people working. So there are two types of 3D environment. One are the real time based, and others are they are virtual. They are not the real time based. So they are recorded back. But then you can have interaction. You can have your own comments or your own input to that. So that's basically is coming in the Web 3.0. It's called 3D visualization. So here is the web which is improving from Web 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and simultaneously it is making an impact in our e-learning side. So let's look at e-learning 1.0. You see that I'm sure many of you may have been using what we call learning management software or learning management systems. Blackboard, WebCT, Moodle, Sakai, there are so many these learning management systems available, right? So what you do in that, your lecture you post it there. So you post lecture, students can download, students can read that. So that is a e-learning 1.0. To interact with the student, you have a software or you have a system that it is, but it is only one way. They cannot interact. They can just download whatever information you have provided. They can read all that, whatever information you have provided. E-learning 2.0, which is a two-directional. This is what I was mentioning. I send my student a question and they respond. So this is where you have a chat room. This is where you have interactivity. So most of the US universities are at this stage where every professor is using two-directional e-learning 2.0 based systems to interact with the students to make it much more effective with the student.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference between between the e-learning 2.0 and web 2.0? What's the difference between these two?
So this provides an environment. This is a platform.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what you are bringing an e-learning application on it. So internet is providing you two-directional platform in Web 2.0. But Web 2.0 is a generic. It can be anything. It can be Facebook, blog, Wikipedia, whatever. But more in context of your learning, the tool that you are using on Web 2.0 is your chatbots, your forums, as part of learning management systems. Right? So what we are saying, here is the technology, 1, 2, 3. As the technology is evolving, now you are building for learning, learning 1.0, learning 2.0, learning 3.0. So now we are talking about on these platforms how the learning tools or learning softwares are incorporated. Very good question. And feel free anytime to stop me, please. So we were talking about now, as I mentioned, it is an evolution of a web and e-learning. So e-learning 3.0, which again is very more recently, still is not, it again provides a 3D environment. Have you heard of Second Life? Have you heard of Second Life? So what happens, Second Life is a small application.
Yeah.
And in that small application, you create a virtual environment. So you can create your own second life, saying, I would like to live in this city, this movie Mars, this movie Venus, and you have a small town there, you can create how you want to live, what kind of home you have. So similar 3D based environment can be created for any application. I gave you example of your own home, but it could be a factory environment, it could be an industry, it can be a computer lab. So you have some of these softwares available, and that's called, you can also be part of that as called avatars. So avatar is nothing but again part where you are becoming a part of that environment. Sorry about that. So e-learning 3.0, not only you can read, write, connect, collaborate anytime, anywhere with anyone. And this is where we were talking about that you have a 3D applications for your learning inbuilt into the Google card boxes. And you can actually, student can experience. So I give you one more example which I do with the students. You may have heard of that Pokemon, right? Pokemon became a very powerful game. And so what it does is, again, in the 3D environment, it tells you where to go to find a treasure, just for example. Right? So you keep moving, it takes you from one place to another to find the treasure, like a treasure hunt. And in that you win point. So you get involved so much that you think you are one of the actor in that game, right? So you become part of that journey in a 3D environment. Connectivist learning, augmented reality and virtual reality. So suppose I show you Kandahar here in a 3D environment. And then you can say that building is my office. And then you can start interacting and building that. Within that building, I want to tell you a couple of more things. So students not only see 3D environments as a virtual reality, but now you can augment your input in that. So students now, you can see the learning. Suppose I read a book, and after reading a book, I may not remember so much because out of 300 pages, there may be a few concepts which I may remember. But suppose that 300 pages are shown as a movie, you remember more, right? Now, it's not a movie, but you become actor in that. You remember most of it because you are actually in it. You are seeing yourself in it. And that's where Confucius say that, I hear, I forget, I learn, right?
Here I forget.
Yes, I hear, I forget, the, I do, I understand, right? So this is where you want, if you are in it, you will remember more. So as part of the learning style, what most of the people are saying, this reading book or learning from the books will go away very soon. Nobody will have a time. In fact, some of my students, what they do, I record my lecture and make it available to them, and they drive to their offices for an hour, and my lecture is for an hour. So they put that lecture in their car when they are driving, they are hearing, they are listening. And by the time they reach offices, they are ready to interact. So they have never read any textbook, they have never written anything, they are only hearing, because that's how they are trying to do the time management. And now you think, so that's the first stage. Second stage, instead of hearing, now you are playing a role in it. You are doing the augmentation. So the learning style, people think that's the next stage. In fact, I wrote a small paper, a research paper called Biology Computers, or Biology Computing. What I'm predicting in next few years, if I want to be expert in if I want to be expert in biology, you don't need to learn anything. I can sell you a small chip, which has like a Dr. Google of biology, and that can be planted with your nerve system. Anybody ask any question on biology, as Dr. Google is giving answer, you will be able to respond as an expert. So you would be a biology expert, then you plant another one, maybe for computer. Maybe, so you can plant many of these chips. These are also called variable computers. So you can wear computers in your clothing. I made a presentation a couple of years back where this fabric which I'm wearing is have all the sensors. So right now I can see my heartbeat, I can see how is my body temperature, I can see my blood pressure, I can see many of my health related things just because wearing this fabric. So wearable computer is the next stage where you would become part of this augmented reality virtual reality. Any comment, questions so far? So more is more, this is drivers for future learning. The world is getting internet enabled, more electronic devices, free and open education resources all over the net. Now, I wrote, as I mentioned, I wrote some 12, 13 books, and a couple of years back, I asked my students to use those books for my class. $300. So the publisher is, because he's using this as a business proposition. So he's charging $300 for a book, and students find difficult to afford to pay $300 for one book, and they are doing 5 subjects. So it is a huge money. So now for them, I say, okay, no more books. I will give you some downloadable material free, right? So they are open resources. You can do anything on the open resources. You get that material and you don't have to pay anything for the book. I will select what material you need. And that material is not only in written format, it may be YouTube videos, it may be 3D environment. I wanted students to use them for their learning. So these are a couple of things which are happening. You see now what's happening. Facebook has 1.15 billion users. If it was a country together, the largest country in the world. Number of text messages sent and received every day exceeds the total population of the planet. These are just interesting facts I brought you. 4.2 billion people use mobile devices to access social media sites every day. These are the tools. So I was talking about you can use Wiki, you can use YouTube, you can use virtual reality world, Second Life, Google Box, which I use very, and now we are talking about wearable computing. MOOCs and Coursera. Have you started using MOOCs and Coursera?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So it's very interesting that any class you are teaching, you can take that class online from any other university. You have a free registration. So when I was teaching my class, I was also simultaneously learning from some of the professors who were teaching a similar or the same class in other universities. Once you register, you become like a student, and you go through the same experience, you end up doing same assignment, tutorials and everything. At the end, you actually again pass a course or fail a course. But if you need a certificate, only then you need to pay to that institution. If you don't need a certificate, you don't need to pay anything. So it is again additional resource for you to learn while you are teaching. So you have additional resources and many different styles. So like Khan Academy, you can learn for anything from Khan Academy. Or any of these MOOCs courses or any of the Coursera courses, you can learn. So there's a lot of emphasis on self-learning rather than reading, rather than developing your own notes, developing your own exercises, developing your own assignments. You can borrow a lot of these material from these Coursera and MOOCs courses. So these are the more focus is that we want to be connected on 24/7 basis. A lot of classrooms are virtual classroom. All these MOOCs and Coursera are nothing but virtual classroom. And then you have learner center or personalized learning environment. And then the focus is about self-learner or what we call control and manage their own learning. So these are the emphases which are coming. So here is a very interesting scenario. There are students who want to learn traditional way. They come to the college, they want to sit in the classroom, they want to see the professor right in front. But the technology on the other side is driving this environment. Students want to learn from home or while they are driving or while they are somewhere else on 24/7 basis. They want to experience all that what they did in the college environment virtually. So there is a pressure to the universities. They cannot afford to provide only one environment. That's why they have a combination of both. Some courses, some professors are taking lead to offer the virtual environment for their virtual learning, and some professors are just keeping lead to their traditional. So as I said, changing role of student. Role of students are changing. So they are becoming more like self-learners. They are becoming co-creators of knowledge. Sometimes when I go in my class, students say, Professor, you taught me yesterday this, but I found another good example in this YouTube video. So now I add that into my resource material. Some says, Professor, this is a very interesting piece. This much, you should also include this because I found it very helpful for my learning. I again add this. So students are not just students, they are co-constructor of knowledge. And that's where we call it a constructivism is the new learning theory which we are trying to get into, constructivism. And then another thing which is going in the worldwide, there are hundreds of universities and hundreds of people, they come out of program. So if I'm an employer, I find hard who's good. And we say that in India, 40% students are not employable. I mean, they're getting degrees, but they don't have skills. So there is a focus towards competence-based learning. So they should be able to prove it, and that they can do it again using these new learning tools. So if I'm going to be chartered accountant, I can be given these real-time scenarios and I can work, and the employers or other professors can watch them, see them lively, how they are performing, and everything is based on their assessment, their hiring is based on the competencies. So it's not just taking a test or exam, multiple choice or any other essay type exam, but make them to do the roles which they are going to perform after they are higher level companies. Personalized learning is another emphasis. As I said, 3D virtual reality based curriculum. So there is also convergence of informal and formal learning. I did myself, I have a passion for knowing history. So, but I was a science student. So during my early school days, I didn't learn, but now what I do is I go to these different sites to pick up the topic on history-based topics, European history, Asian history, uh, Mediterranean history, Middle Eastern history, and I learn not only by reading, but I watch a lot of those 3D videos, pictures, and now I feel that I'm much more accomplished. And that is called informal learning because it's not part of any schedule or any curriculum or any course. So nowadays there is a blur between informal and formal learning because you would like to learn a lot for your gain apart from the formal learning which you are doing as part of the degree. So informal and formal learning is getting converged. Students are expecting that when we talk in a class, we should provide them a solid knowledge base and real world application. They will say, don't just tell us what is written in the book, but tell us how to apply that knowledge. So give us something hands on. And that's part of our this exercise we will do later on today, every one of us. So they expect more like customer service. They want face-to-face contact but accept boundaries. They are very stimulated, active, and participatory because they want to be engaged more rather than a passive student or participant. Changing role of instructor. Yes, yes.
In our universities, we have, on the previous slide you mentioned, that's the first line. In our universities, most of our lecturers are focusing only on one chapter. To take the chapter to the student and telling him, read this is your complete material, and you should be ready for exam from this chapter. But we are open of this. Most of the time, in every meeting, I'm opposing. So I mentioned that we should keep them references.
Yes.
Yeah, they should use references. Not
Yes.
they should focus on this one smart chapter.
Yes.
Because what they are doing, they are mechanically remembering the chapter. They are making themselves ready for exam. After a few days of exam, they will have nothing in them.
That's correct.
I want to add something like he's right. We are doing same thing. But what is the big problem? Why we are doing like this? I am teaching like I ask from my students that how many of you have entered to the Google Chrome for once in your lifetime. I know only in the class 10 or 15 students among 18 or 80 or 100 students, they were just able to understand what is Google Chrome. But most of them, they don't know what is Google Chrome, how to make a Gmail ID, how can I mean that they are not familiar with technologies.
Sure.
And
But
this
that-
make a big gap between us and our students.
Very good. Very good. That's real challenge.
And it's very difficult for us to how can we understand them that how can you use these technologies. And
So-
another thing, sorry sir, in our education system is our own native language. For example, those provinces who are speaking on Dari, the lecture systems in Dari, those who are native speaker are Pashto, they are learning on Pashto. Most of the students, they don't know English. So if I told them you should go to the MOOCs or you should go to the Wikipedia or something else, they will say, okay, I will go, how can I find something in Pashto and Dari?
True.
So this is another challenge for us. I don't know how can we remove this gap between us and students, it will help us.
Very good comment, and very good observation, and very good question. This is going to be, so there is a divide, what we call have and have nots. And this is digital divide and there is a knowledge divide. So digital divide is more where internet resources or internet as a tool is not as much available as a medium. And knowledge divide is that whatever we do on internet as internet literacy, there are few people who know how to do it and there are people who do not know how to do it. So digital divide and knowledge divide is a real problem, not only around the world, but within the United States. Some states you would see the knowledge of these students coming to the classrooms are very different than the other students. In US there are three type of institutions. One is called 4-year degree institutions. And 4-year degree institutions are the one where you have undergraduate degree, masters and PhD. And then you have second called 2-year degree institutions. So 2-year degree institutions are also called vocational colleges. So if I do not, if I am not accepted, so there are two reasons. One, I am not accepted anywhere based on my high school percentage in 4-year degree institutions. That's one reason. Secondly, even I have a very high score to get into 4-year degree institution. 4-year degree institutions are expensive. So for a class, let's say in 4-year degree institution, for 1 year the fee is $40,000. In 2-year degree institution, it may be $10,000. So some students, for those reasons, will go in 2-year degree institution. But the exposure in 2-year degree institution is just like you're mentioning. They may not be exposed to the most recent tools. These are the students who are in the rural areas. These are the students who are not exposed to the media literacy or knowledge literacy that we are talking about. How to create email account or how to use Facebook or how to do a lot of things. So there is a gap and we live in that challenging world. There are no set answers for this. Only thing you can do is that when I go in my class to make everybody at the same level, I force them to do. So I say, let's today go to the Gmail. Let's everybody have an account. No, let's create an account. Okay? Even if you have an account, let's create this a new account for our class purposes. So we create a account. Okay, let's create a group. Okay, so they see how I am creating a group. Just like here, I'll be on computer, I'll show them, they are doing on their laptop. So as part of engagement, rather than assuming the different levels of their expertise on this, we become part of everyone playing the role. Even those students who already are aware of, they don't mind again redoing it or helping their next man sitting next to them. So this is how I do. Yes, sir.
I, uh, it's really in this is the problem of society in the education system. I'm asking about and want to hear from you which solution is better. I have two solutions for this problem. One is that we lecturer must translate the materials in our related subject to our native language. One solution is that. And another is that we should impose on or mandate on the student to learn English language. So which one will be better for our society according to opinions?
You know, if I may, when I was growing here in India,
Yeah.
I used to think that Hindi as a language should be used for our instructional medium. I was more patriotic and thinking, why not? We should create our own books in Hindi. We should use everything in Hindi. The problem is that the world is all interfaced with each other through English. That's only one language, whether we like it or not. Now, so I may be a great personality learning or using Hindi for all my work here in India, but whenever I have to expose my work to the rest of the world, I need an English language. So the second solution is much better because that will make them to play at par with anybody else in the world, rather than making them to learn more in Dari, because later on for their professional career, whenever they want to grow or interact with the rest of the world, again that will be impediment. So it is better that if they can more learn and more emphasis could be given in the school system than to pick up the English.
Professor, according to my friend's concern regarding the digital divide, the generation here that our students are not familiar with using online resources or internet resources. In our university, we have an e-learning committee. Through an e-learning committee, we are organizing seminars, workshops for students as well as for lecturers to give them awareness about these modes using online resources. So this committee represents member of each faculty. So, member of each faculty is responsible to give awareness to students of the same faculty how to use these online resources. And we just recently started this edX platform. We have a local platform edX in Afghanistan where we can create online courses and we can ask students to access those courses and benefit from them.
Yes, so that gives one more example, and before I ask you, actually, there was one hand raised here by Bashar, so we will get back. You know, I teach in China, very good students. Many of them initially they learned in Mandarin, everything. So when they try to put a question to me or they want to interact, they're finding hard because it has to be in English. Of late, what Chinese government has done, they have hired people, a young student from US who just have an undergraduate degree to come and teach in their primary school system English. And they made it a mandatory. And now the next generation Chinese have no impediment of English as a barrier. I'm just sharing that one of the initiatives the government has taken to take care of this problem. So similarly, in the school system, in the college system, all of us have a responsibility to bring them to the platform which they have to compete universally. So we have to provide them English exposure, English tools, so that they are more comfortable. Otherwise, whenever they want to compete with other people in the world, and if the English has been used as a common platform, it will be a disadvantage.
One thing else, in Afghanistan and uh, major public universities, we have English and computer centers. They are free of cost for the students. The students can, take admission there. They can take tutorials for English and computer, so they can become, familiar and acquainted with computer skills in English, so they can use these online resources either in the field.
Sure. Yes, sir.
In fact, Professor, we have a problem. Most of our lecturers force students for learning of English language. So, like Michael said, we have English distributed courses for students. By myself, in our faculty, I award all students from being in the first semester and second to study to learn English and computer. And also we have engineering faculty. All subjects are in English. From the beginning, when the students are coming, even they don't know ABC of English. But after one semester, if you ask them, you will not believe that how they learn this English language.
If humans are very fast learner and adaptive to any circumstances. I went to teach one semester in Finland, so I went very close to Arctic Ocean. There's like 12 feet snow around, and when you walk on the roads, because there's so much snow around, as if you are walking in the tunnels, because you can't see the other side, the snow is so high. So when the first time I went, I thought, how would I survive in this environment? But human body and human as a species are very quickly they learn to adapt. And no time I started enjoying so much that became part of my life. So students, if they are thrown to these new learning environments, with English as environment, with the computer and media literacy, It may be little hesitancy in the beginning, but very soon they will adapt it and they'll perfect it. So it is a matter of little bit exposing them, encouraging them, appreciating their effort, and you would see the results different. Somebody had a comment? Yes.
It's okay. It was solved. I have a question. It was solved when you were talking.
Sorry?
I have a question and it was you.
You answer.
Okay. Sorry. So I'll run the last slide and then. So their student expectations are changing. You can see the role of instructors. So 20 years back when I was teaching, I will go with some transparency and I will tell students, this is all you have to learn, as if I am the decider, right? Nowadays, we are talking about learner-centered or student-centered learning, where I need to collect a feedback. What do they want to learn? So in my first class, I go there and I say, have you heard of this class? What are your expectations? Write down the 5 takeaways from the class you would like to take at the end of this course. 5 takeaways. Consult your friend, consult your parents, consult your anybody. What should you get if this course is completed? What should you learn? Those 5 things. So I have a class of around 30-35 students. Each one write their 5 takeaways. So I have somewhere around 175 or 200 takeaways question. I first start preparing the answers to those questions. How can I answer those questions? So I'm creating a knowledge repository of 200 questions, which itself, if it is answered, is a huge valuable resource for the student. And I will use that also as a guide for me to deliver the content throughout the semester, throughout the course. So the newer role of the teachers in terms of the pedagogy is you're becoming facilitators, you're becoming enablers, you're becoming pointers. You're not a controller that you're trying to control the contents. So because of this, the teaching load increases. I mean, there's a lot of work for the teachers. There's a lot of work for the professor. If you want to do all this, there's more work for you, right? You will be trying to provide more resources, online tools, YouTube videos. So first you have to spend time to get those resources. Managing class size is another issue. In some of the MOOCs courses, how much? One of the MOOCs courses I was attending, there were 350,000 students in one class. 350,000 students in one class. Now think of if I am a professor of that class. Physically, I mean, even if I give a 1 minute to every student for interaction, 350,000 minutes I need to be effective feed provider to them. Right? So managing class size is becoming more and more difficult and more challenging. And multimedia interaction and simulation. You are having, now I want them to create videos of their own. So many times students, they say, I tell them, whatever you have done or whatever you wanted to do for this class, record in your YouTube and send me YouTube, right? So they do it, but now I have to go through those YouTube. And if they are half an hour or 20 minutes, and there are 60 students, I need the time to go through all those videos. So it's a challenge. These are the different expectations now from the faculty, the different roles of instructors.
Sorry, Professor, how we should manage this?
So some of the universities, what they are doing is they are increasing the compensation level. Secondly, they are providing a lot of support. So they are saying every 30 students we will have an assistant for you.
In our system, we have limitation of material. For example, for one credit, my 80 page and maximum is 120 page. So we should multiply one on 2-3 credits. Also, if we have more credits, when we are teaching, most of the time our lecturer do not complete this chapter until the end of the semester.
True.
If we apply all of these rules or this kind of, for example, technologies, it will be hard to apply.
It will be hard, but it is becoming a necessity. So what we do in Ball State, If you are teaching online, anybody more than 45 students will be counted as a double course. So suppose a faculty member is supposed to teach 3 courses, more than 45 students will be taken as 2 courses. So he has one more course to teach. So there is a double loading, what we call it. So the compensation packages are becoming different. So these are the, and this also have impact on promotion and tenure policies because you're spending more time in the classroom and student instructions. So these are the different future of learning pedagogies, and because today we have something else, so I will come back to this later, cover it later. This is a discussion for future, and we will do today some exercise later um, as part of interactiveness. So I'll stop here. And any final question before Lydia? Lydia wants to take you to get a what we call pre-test.
I have a question that today you talk about transformation and evolution of learning system, the technology, for example, where we were and where we are now. Most of these changes happened in the last maybe 30 or 40 years. What do you think, why this big amount of changes happened in the last 30 years? Why not 100 years ago? Why not 200 years ago? There isn't a very big difference between the human who was living 1,000 years ago and now. We had some big philosophies like Plato, Aristotle 2,000 years ago. But why these changes happened in the last 50 years? What was the reason, the basic reason that brought us from a very basic time to a very changed situation?
So, have you heard of another terminology which is called Industry 4.0? This is a new buzzword, Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 basically means Industrial Revolution 4th version. So, what it is, Industry 1.0 started in 1757 to 1845. That was a time when the technology was getting introduced mainly in the agriculture sector. Then, so that was the range of the technology. Then the Industrial 2.0, which was 1845 to somewhere around 1940, this was the time when the technology was introduced in the industries. So agriculture was replaced, you started manufacturing cars, you started manufacturing bicycles. So that was all about electrical and mechanical revolution, developments came in Industry 2.0. Industry 3.0 started in somewhere 1945 onwards, and this went on till 2000. This was the one you are mentioning is the most dramatic impact on the humans. And this is the Industry 3.0, which was electronics and computers. So when the electronics and computers came, it changed the way we work in our day-to-day life. And Industry 4.0, which started from 2000 onwards, is now going to change things completely different. You may have heard another terminology called IoT, Internet of Things. What is IoT? IoT is that today, so far we were interacting with the internet. So far I will go to my computer and I'll start working in internet. Now, the devices are talking to each other on its own. So it's not a human intervention. I go to parking to park my car. Earlier I used to go for parking spaces and inside you go in a parking garage and I'm taking around which spot is available. Now, as soon as I go close to the garage, it tells me 5th floor, 12th spot is free. It comes completely on the display on my GPS and my GPS drives me directly there. So GPS is talking to the sensor which is built in the parking space and making my car directly to reach there rather than I finding out. Trash bins. The biggest problem in the area is the trash bins. You know, in the city management, city administration, there are a lot of trash bins which gets filled and people don't clear it, and it creates a pollution. Now there are trash bins which are sensor based. As soon as the trash bin gets filled up to a level, it sends a signal to the backend server in the city administration telling that needs to be cleared. And that sends a signal to the vehicle who is on the driver, the vehicle where the driver is driving, directly to give him a GPS direction that go there and pick up that. Actually, right now I can show you my this app, the Internet of Things. I have put a doorbell in my home in US, and as any car or anybody passes through my home, I get a immediately motion picture notification here, and I can talk to that person passing through from here. And so there is so much interaction through the apps and through these devices. So you would see the life of this, everything changes with the Industrial 4.0 or Internet of Things.
I think we need to kind of stay on schedule a little bit. Maybe how long do you need for your testing?
It's like an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay. I know that Dr. Sharma's going to continue this conversation later, but I want to make sure that we have time to do that and also get to lunch. And I have some good news. They're going to be coming in a few minutes with SIM cards, and also we're going to be able to exchange some money today. So I think for interest of time, we'll have more time this afternoon for you to continue this conversation, which I hate to interrupt because it's fascinating. But
we'll continue this discussion later. Let's do the pre-testing and also get you SIM cards so that you can start interacting with your family members.
So where are we doing right now?
We're going to the classroom right now. And I know people may need a restroom break, but what if you guys all follow Nydia first to find out where you're going? I'll just wait for the others that have gone to the restroom, and then we can take a short break, make it really short so we can get this done, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you for the question. This is who was I talking to last night? This is like, who would have thought that I would have a computer in my purse? Right here.
What is this?
It's my iPhone. That is it. It is a computer. I mean, it's just incredible to me. I mean, yeah, I can check my email, I can shop, I can talk to Afghanistan, I can talk to Iraq. All right here.
Yes, but I think we're waiting for some people
No.
in the restaurant.
Yeah, but I want to take the class, because I should.
Email address?
Yeah, do I want your email address? Yeah, let's do it over there.
They
Should I
are
take the things?
asking how much dollar needs to be converted to rupees. Accordingly, they'll bring that much amount of money.
Okay, what,
And for SIM card, I'm working with them for prepaid SIM card. They can come and get their documents
okay,
and give the SIM card, but it takes a little time to get activated. It might take a day before it is
Okay.
activated.
but we'll get started today.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody wants to get quite a bit of money. No, first we're talking about,
Two things. First, exchange of dollars to Indian rupees for your, hand expense, how much you would like. So if you can tell me the total amount, all of you together, how much rupees you want in conversion of dollar, accordingly they'll bring the money.
well, I want to make sure, because everybody in US has like a $100 bill
Okay,
and then $25, a 20 and a 5.
okay.
What, if everybody wanted 125, is that too much, or should we
Or
just go?
maybe
25?
just, 25.
And that'll get us started until we can get to the money?
Yes.
Does everybody want at least $25?
into rupees, $25 into rupees.
And then we can find, and then that will get us through until we get down to,
We have, some of them, we have Indian
At least
rupees.
$50.
you already have it.
Yes.
Janice, they're saying 25 will not be enough, at least $50 they want to convert.
That's fine, but they have $100 bills.
Okay, they have $100.
शान साहब मायरा नहीं मांगे तो भाई सही नहीं है पेशी
Two of us will change $100, so we'll just divide.
Okay.
They'll give, yeah.
Okay, then all I'm asking is for you guys to figure it out. When we get to the classroom, you tell us how much money we need.
Total amount.
Yeah,
So if each one of you are getting $50 converted to Indian rupee.
I'm not sure if everybody is, so.
Okay, so
Would you, everybody get together and then let's think about it, and then we get out of the classroom, give me a count, and I'll give it to her.
And for SIM card, prepaid SIM card, we can make arrangements so that you get your SIM card today. They will probably need your,
Passport.
yeah, and
Okay.
but the SIM card will take a little time to get activated.
that's
It
fine.
takes a day or
Let's
so.
forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we missing one person and I'm counting 9 people?
One is how?
Okay.
Went to the restroom?
Okay.
Yeah, somebody has gone to the restroom. I think I saw somebody. was
Okay.
there.
I'll just count. Should they take their things? Are we coming back here?
Yes, because
Yeah,
we are
please.
relocating to a classroom.
Yeah, please take all your
There
things.
will be
We're-
tea and refreshments outside.
Shandiwa.
So, yeah, please take everything that belongs to you to the new classroom.
Do you know where Dr.
Yeah.
Sharma is?
Yeah, we're gonna move.
Do you know where Dr. Sharma is?
Fine.
Huh?
I'll wait for him. Yeah.
When the IT people will come, they give you the SIM card and they will.
Zilasa? Ya, tabii bak, filmleri.
That's a good question.
You will have 3 pounds.
Okay.
Oh,
Kalau mau start dengan murah kali.
come there, come
Ah,
there.
pasti.
Huh? Oh, nada.
Yeah, but, and hopefully some tea with caffeine. So I think you look like an American professor.
He does.
He looks like an American. He's at Ball State right now.
So
Because I know you. Tired. Okay, good. Well,
Give you a card with my, I'll give you a card with my email address. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Thank you. You asked for Media. Media. Please eat. Your media actually. In her law school. Oh, awesome. And I, yeah, I mentioned that openly. Oh, that's amazing. You can find some. Everything changes. Something you're talking about. Are the snacks ready?
Thank you.